With Finland, Sweden and most of Norway under Soviet control, Marshal Nikolai Ogarkov's grand offensive across Scandinavia has entered a brutal final phase. The fall of Oslo and Bergen has handed the Soviets strategic ports along the Norwegian coast, enabling them to project power deep into the North Sea and towards the GI-UK gap. But the Soviet thrust hasn't stopped there. In the far north, Soviet armored columns have surged over frozen terrain, outflanking scattered NATO defenses and forcing Norwegian and Swedish troops into a desperate retreat. Their final stronghold? Narvik. Narvik, perched at the edge of the Norwegian Sea, has become a last redoubt for battered Scandinavian defenders. Soviet forces, supported by artillery and naval bombardment, have besieged the port, cutting off overland escape and pressing towards total annihilation. Yet the mountainous terrain and fierce Nordic resistance have bought NATO a fleeting opportunity. Operation Odin's Flight was conceived in urgency, a last-ditch, joint UK-Norwegian maritime evacuation to extract what remains of the Scandinavian defenders before the Soviet news tightens completely. Reminiscent of the World War II evacuation of Narvik, Operation Alphabet, Task Force 24.6 Snowfall, a hastily assembled evacuation flotilla of amphibious ships, logistics vessels and Norwegian patrol craft, reached Narvik under the cover of midnight fog and hostile fire. Miraculously, the force completed the embarkation of troops and key naval assets. Now, under escort from Task Force 24.4 Draken, a resilient force of British and Norwegian surface combatants, Snowfall pushes south through the narrow corridors of the Vestfjorden, bound for open waters in eventual sanctuary in the United Kingdom. However, Soviet Naval Command has detected the breakout. A surface action group, likely supported by air elements operating from newly seized airfields near Tromsø, has been dispatched to intercept the convoy. Submarine contacts are increasing, suggesting that the Soviets are attempting to blockade the Vestfjorden and strike the evacuation force before it can reach safety. Maritime patrol aircraft report backfire bomber formations launching from the Kola Peninsula. The skies and seas around Snowfall are turning lethal. To counter the threat, Task Force 24.5 Trident, a mixed Anglo-American group of destroyers and frigates, is steaming northward from the North Sea to rendezvous with Snowfall and reinforce Draken. Timing is everything. Should the Soviet SAC breach the defensive perimeter or delay the evacuation force, the loss of Narvik's troops and vessels will be a catastrophic blow, both materially and symbolically. These men and ships represent the last organized resistance from occupied Scandinavia. Operation Odin's Flight is more than a rescue. It is a race against the Soviet tide. Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power and welcome to Operation Odin's Flight. We are here to extract our Task Force Snowfall. The last of our staunch defenders of the North are going to have to get evacuated. But of course, there is a fly in the soup. A Soviet SAG is steaming south, coming in from the north, and we are to intercept them with Task Force Trident. So we are to proceed north on high-speed transit under MCON until visual contact range of Task Force Snowfall. Yes, but the Soviets might not necessarily keep the same conditions. And at high speed, I'll be all the more vulnerable to submarines. Assume layered escort posture with Task Force Draken to screen the evacuation column, prioritize ASW coverage with SAM and CWIS readiness against saturation air attacks, engage hostile surface threats, and rendezvous Task Force Snowfall and Draken at RZ Alpha, and then make haste to UK waters. That is not that difficult of a mission on paper. In practice, though, it might turn into something very different. Let's see what we have been granted control over, because there's quite a lot of moving parts in this one. Over here we can see our escorts, or rather our escortees, led by the Narvik. All these merchants are carrying troops. You can't see them because it's shitty weather and they're all hiding below decks, or at least that's the story I'm running with. We have Trondheim, Coventry, we have the Sleipner, we have the Birmingham, and we have the Stavanger, and that's it. That is the escort force. Task Force Draken is in front of them. They do carry a bunch of sea darts. They have access to a few Exis sets, but so far, I don't think I've ever been able to get a kill with an Exis set because they simply don't have the range. Now, over here we also have a Vargen. Vargen is a group of a couple of small attack craft. You can see they're only carrying torpedoes, and they're carrying ASW, penguins. Okay, vessels of Task Force Draken and Snowfall are accounted for and underway in formation. Convoys progressing at full speed towards RZ Alpha. Estimated time of arrival on schedule, barring engagements. Yes, about that. Or weather degradation. The weather, speaking of that, is not great. And that means ASW is going to be more difficult. No contact with enemy surface, subsurface, or air elements to this point in time. MCON posture remains as directed. Embarked helos aboard Gloucester, York, and Devonshire will commence staggered ASW patrols. Rather, I will tell them to do that as formation closes on exit point of Westfjorden. We'll signal again at RZ Alpha or upon change in contact status. Anyway, we were talking about these little boats. These are capable of launching penguins out to a range of 19 miles, and as long as they're not getting detected, they might be able to inflict some damage. Also here, Task Force Skjold, capable of doing the same thing. They carry 6, however, these are, I think, Hawk attack boats. And those torpedoes, yeah, it's a long shot. It's a 9.7 kilometer anti-surface torpedo. It is supposedly wire-guided with passive sonar seeker. It doesn't say that, so I'm not sure if they actually work. I don't really expect to be there for survival that long. Raven is airborne, capable of throwing harpoons at the enemy. Everybody's using MCON. And over here we got Trident. Trident isn't big, it's just 4 ships. We have Halsey, Roberts, Karen, and Kidd. And those 4 are going to have to patrol the RZ, waiting until everybody gets there. That is expected to happen at 06:21 local time. So that'll be about a 6-hour sail at top speed. So that puts it at 90 miles, give or take. Alright, so let's start launching helos and do that staggered ASW patrol. We are doing a hefty 21 knots. That is pretty fast. That means I'm going to have to lay my sonobuoys a bit farther afield to make sure that I don't accidentally already cross over their perimeter. Let's set up a 10-mile no-sub zone. I'm going to have sonobuoys out at least that far. Trident, I'm going to have you do the same thing. You guys are coming in even faster at about 25 knots. Helicopters are just going to have to fly, rain or no rain. We do need ASW patrol. And as there were quite a few comments on the last video saying, hey, your lack of sonobuoy control. Your lack of MCON, especially with sonar, troubles me. Fair enough, I'll not use active sonar this time around. So far, active sonar hasn't really done much, let alone at this speed. It's not likely to start doing anything for me at all. Unfortunately, I cannot do the deployment of this, but maybe once the helo is airborne, we can slow down a touch, and we can still get that decoy deployed. These guys aren't running as fast. I'm going to have... yeah, it's an active array. I'm not going to use an active array. If we have towed decoys, I will use those as much as possible. Trondheim, negative. Coventry does have one. Birmingham does have one. Sleipnir doesn't. Stavanger doesn't. And Narvik doesn't. Okay, so, all of you, better hope that my ASW screen is up to par. Otherwise, you might find yourself on the receiving end of a weapon. Unfortunately, I don't really have a whole lot of air patrol. I got one whole ASW plane, and that is it. This ASW plane might be useful for detecting the enemy. It might come in handy to throw harpoons at a lone enemy target. Outside of that, I'm not really sure. I don't really have a whole lot of tasking for it. Alright, Queen 1. You are already spinning up. Excellent. We're going to start laying sonobuoys fairly far in front. There. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the intermittent distance here? Oops. 8 miles is a bit much in this weather. If I lay on automatic screen, it's going to be fairly small. You don't have that many buoys. That's a little better. It's not great, but it's a little better. So, no. Shift, Alt, right click, and you're going to get that spread right there. Okay. The distance between these buoys is 5 miles. Now keep in mind, one's above the layer, one's below the layer, so that'll make it more interesting and less likely to pick up a sonar contact. Unfortunately. Gentlemen, you too will have to face the weather, and you too will have to start laying sonar buoys. Let's do the same thing here. Shift, Alt, right click. Done. Okay. Better be submarines right there, otherwise I won't detect them. If I were a submarine, or rather, if I were in charge of this scenario, I would probably try and put a submarine there. Because this task force is basically going to drive right over me. I might not try and intercept this task force, because it's not that dangerous. But hey, you want to give the player something to chew on. We're heading that direction, I would put another submarine right around there. Seeing as this task force has plenty of helicopters, I'm just going to start venturing out into those areas where I think a submarine could be. And seeing if my bets are going to pay off. We only got helos from a few ships, and I don't want to send everybody out, because then everybody's going to also be on cooldown by the time that I might need them. So that's not going to work out. You guys are coming in at 26 knots. You are under MCON. You're very small ships. Probably a meager rate of return profile. I might be able to make that work. All we gotta do is find that Soviet SAG first. Now, all signs point to the fact that it's going there. That's where, apparently, the mission creator has set waypoints for this one. So I suppose Il Duce knows exactly where that formation is, and might be trying to point me in the right direction. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, for now, we're going to continue with the plan. I'm not going to intervene with these courses. I'm going to let the helos start dropping, and we'll just be on our way. A little later, Raven 1 has already proven her usefulness. Her ESM has picked up various radar signatures originating in the north, pretty much exactly where these guys are gonna go. So, we'll be able to intercept these, ideally. I don't think our missiles will have range quite yet, because these harpoons only have a range of 65 miles, and that's a bit outside of the scope. Same for the penguins. The penguins are even worse. They only got a range of 19, so we'll have to close the distance. And based on where these guys are presently projecting on going, I'm looking for the best ambush spot. They're going to be, if they maintain 27 knots, they're going to be about here in an hour. Let's drag it back a little bit. There, that's about 1 hour. And then from there, I gotta start setting up range circles on these, because they got a maximum range of 19 miles. These guys got a range of 19 miles. If I task Skjold with going to Vargen, I can start getting a larger concentration of missiles. Because this is 18 penguins, and this is a mere 12. There's not a whole lot of firepower. 30 missiles have a better chance of getting through. I just don't really trust the AI not to completely muck up here. Now, let's say the Soviet SAG is going to continue on her course. If they do that from here, and I at present don't have any reason to think they'll deviate from their course, they're going to be about here in 2 hours from now. If I tell Skjold to... what are they doing? 26? 26 knots. If I tell them to head here, I can be right around there in 2 hours. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to tell Skjold, which is the Falk, the Gear, and the Hawk, to start changing their course. You can see that these boats are struggling in this weather. They can do it, thankfully, but let's hope they're not preparing soup in the galley, because that would be unpleasant to eat at this point, I imagine. Anyway, let's start condensing these groups into one. I don't really need you boys to start rushing in there. Let's just slow down, because you got ample opportunity. At the point where these guys are about 27 miles out, so at this second waypoint, they will also be able to start striking this group. And more importantly, this group. Which has me rather worried. Because these ships, with their Sea Sparrows, not great. Sea Darts are a better option. I do have plenty of those. Yet, the Soviets tend to throw out many more missiles than you like to receive. So that's a bit of a challenge. Now, I'm going to start condensing these. I'm going to have my Queen, that's Queen 1 and Queen 2. Queen 2 is investigating that, what I said... Bloody hell, already? Okay. New deal. If we are getting picked up here, there's something much, much, much closer than I was hoping for. I don't know exactly where it is, but Queen 2, you're going to have a new order. You're going to lay down the sonobuoy net there. I want to immediately mobilize another helicopter. Don't have one there. Gloucester, do you carry a second one? You don't. York? Send it. This is immediately turning into a problem. But then again, that's how the Soviets tend to roll. What are they throwing at me? SSN-3Bs? What carries the 3B? What carries the 3B? I don't think it's a submarine. The Soviets can be happy, by the way, that these things are shooting around at 17,000 feet, or they'd be slamming into the ground like my harpoons would. Missile cruiser... Kara? No, it's the 14. Cresta is the SSN-14. Akinda. It's a Cresta. That's a Cresta 1 or a Akinda class. And those missiles have a range of 248 miles, so it's entirely likely that they came off that formation. So we really need to investigate where the hell we're getting attacked or detected from. Because they can probably do that again. These things have, what, 8 tubes? Come on. Wheel Queen 3 out of here. Get up there. Yeah. There we go. That's ideally another few missiles intercepted. They can't keep doing this. They don't have that many missiles. There's another inbound. Whee! Missed it. 2 are tracking 7006. This is, in some twisted way, good news. Because it means that they have spent a good portion of their missiles already. I'm fully expecting a whole bunch more, but if they just piecemeal them my way, I should be able to intercept all of them. Should be able to, because at present we're not really getting a whole lot of results. You are already sending those. You're down to 15. Gloucester is down to 16. And after that it's Sea Wolves, which have a much shorter range. Not great. Come on. Sea Sparrow might get it. I'm seeing gunfire going for it. Missed. Why do I have to remind you to start missiling this thing? There we go, we got it. Oh, bloody hell. Now everybody and their mother shooting these missiles. Which, yes, is not a bad thing. But I'm really running through a whole lot of missiles very, very, very quickly. And if they do have another opportunity to strike, and they will take it, that means I might not have enough missiles left to stave off the second attack, and I'll have to start sacrificing ships for that. There we go. Okay, so that's all those tracks gone. Is that helo up yet? You are. The helos, if you already have them take off, tend to have this stupid little waypoint here that they always try and fly to. Just manually delete that, and the helo will get unstuck, so to speak. Yeah, you're also going to go intermittent. You are deploying there. We're making such noise because we're so fast. But if I slow down, I'm going to risk meeting this Soviet group head-on. Which also isn't a great option. Putting it mildly. Shift, Alt, right-click. Alright. And then we better hope that that Soviet submarine, wherever the hell it is going to make a mistake. It's going to go potentially too fast, making it much more susceptible to interception or detection by our sonobuoys. In the meanwhile, this second Sea Sprite is going to be dropping in front here, where I suspect there could be a submarine. But they're kind of dropping fairly close. Let's locate these buoys slightly closer together. This is just a suspicion. This is where I, as a content creator, or rather mission scenario editor, back when I still used to do that, would place a submarine. Because it's such an annoying position to get. This is where a submarine from the AI could intercept you. Vampire, vampire, vampire. AS6 coming in from the south. How about that? Coming in from the south. I am done with this MCON nonsense. We're going to light up the skies. I have already been detected, so now we're going to light up the place. I want to see where that came from. I doubt I can do much about it, but hey, it's a start, I guess. Give me the active sonars as well. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I had told the Oslo to go weapons hold. You're now weapons tight. You're allowed to defend yourself. Nice pincer attack by the Soviets. Unfortunately for them, they didn't time it well enough. If they had, this would have been a completely different encounter, and I probably would have lost a few ships, at least, from this formation. Damn it. Yeah, it's this. It's this group right here. And they cannot be intercepted by me. I simply don't have the range to do anything about it. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. What? Ooh! You flew right into a chaff cloud, which happened to not be in front of a ship. Nice catch. Nice catch. Who was that? The York. Last ditch effort. More. Even Snowfall itself is trying to pitch in now. Got it. One more. Missile streaking past it, but not getting a hit. Come on, gentlemen. Missed. Okay, I think it's time for some divine intervention here, because these guys are not doing what I want them to do. Birmingham. Just out of curiosity, would you prefer to engage or die? Because essentially those are your options right now. Well, I guess it's die then. You were warned. You even had sea darts available. Numbnuts. I guess you're gonna die with the helo aboard. Oh, great. There's more coming in from the other direction now. Good start for the Soviets. They already scored a kill. Range is now only 109 miles. Yeah, it'll be hours before these guys become useful. And up until the point where I deploy sonobuoys, I still don't know how much risk I'm at. Because for all I know, there's a bunch of hostile torpedoes in the water as well. So that ought to be fun. Now, there's a few more 3Bs coming in. I doubt we've seen all of them. I'm going to keep Vargan here quiet. Skilled, 51 miles out. Oh, there's 3. Gloucester, down to 7 sea darts. You're down to 8. Bergen still has 2 Sea Sparrows before she has to go through her 30-minute reload cycle. Yeah, go figure. What do we know about it? Not much. Helo. Yeah, I can tell you it's a hostile warship. I don't know why, because for all I know it could be a British Sheffield class. But apparently Raven 1 is confident enough that this is a hostile warship. As if the rain of missiles didn't quite give it away yet. What's your range? Oh, very low. Okay, we got that we know of 4 inbound missiles. USM 7024. Oh, that was the helo. Got it. This one's getting through. Come on. I don't want to lose another ship. I need all the ships I can get here. If anybody has not yet launched their helo, do so now. Where the fuck is that even going? Oh! More kitchens. Damn. Okay. Sheffield, launch. I might not need the helo yet, but rather have it and not need it than die with the ship. AS2s as well. Yeah, they're coming at me with a vengeance. Which I imagine is fair, especially as after what I did to them last time around. Which wasn't pretty for the Soviets. Okay, we have intercepted one of the inbound missiles. There's still 2 more from the north. And that we know of, 2 from the south. This one's using radar and emissions. Oh, sorry, this one's using emissions, so he's acting up on his own radar. Just look at how many ships are detecting that thing. Interestingly, we can pick up the fact that they're using a radar, but we don't know what type of radar. Come on. We have no time for this shit. There we go, we got it. North is clear. South is now a problem. Especially as these things come plunging down from 50,000 feet. These things are fast, 1700 knots. This thing's 1100 knots. It's a lot slower, giving you more time to intercept with Sea-Whiz guns and everything else. 3 AS6s. Yikes. Newcastle, out of sea darts. You are pretty much defenseless except for chaff. Oslo, you got 14 Sea Sparrows. Effectively, that means you have another 6 available. No, you numbnuts. Don't gun it. Missile it. It's just very optimistic trying to gun that missile down. I hate that you have to manually tell these ships to start launching missiles or they'll simply not do it. Gloucester? Gloucester! Stop engaging with your 4.5-inch gun. Get those sea wolves on target. Newcastle just went up in a ball of flame. Okay. So that's how it is. Thankfully, she, well, was not as useful. Because she already went through all her sea darts. Her torpedoes aren't going to be that useful. Her exocets aren't going to be that useful. I really hope I still have enough missiles left aboard this escorting formation to deal with these inbound missiles, or we're going to start losing troops here. Which would be hell. Oh, jeez, there's more? What a start. This one's getting, I think, chaffed, as indicated by the up arrow. Got one. One more. Is there more bullshit coming in? Possibly. Another SSN-4. This one just changed its course. What are you going for, a chaff cloud or a ship? What's your intent here? He's changing course again. He's no longer getting chaffed or decoyed. Shoot! Merchants are completely harmless. They can't do anything to defend themselves. Which is gonna be a bit of a problem. Coventry? God damn it, Coventry. You got missiles. We're gonna lose a merchant here. Boom. Damage report. Yeah, you're toast. You're done for. Goodbye. There's a bunch more coming in. Oh, now you shoot. Thank you, Coventry, for being late to the party. Thank you for being late to the party. Queen 4. What if they pulled a reverse psychology on me and in fact put the submarine south? That would be particularly annoying. Because that's not where I would look for it first. All of you, are you running active sonar? You are. Deploy the active VDS. Formation order, sensor orders. I very much doubt I'll be able to detect anything. York. Deploy and activate your VDS. Here it comes. Still 3 more missiles inbound. And another one from the north. Now, Gloucester still has some defenses left. Look at that. I hope we can pick up survivors from the sinking Newcastle. Come on. Missed. No, actually we got 7033. We got one of them. Okay, Coventry's finally growing a brain. Shit, you missed both? Narvik still has Sea Sparrows, but probably not in range. Nope, not in range yet. Roll down to Sea Wolves, which is short range. And there's more missiles coming in. Yay. Yeah, you're not gonna be with us for a whole lot longer, I think. Maybe Sleipnir can pick up some survivors, but she's gonna be crowded. Of course, that's all roleplay, because that's not actually part of the game. Gentlemen. This one's targeting the Sheffield here. Move. Move while the rest of the formation tries to defend itself. What weather? Come on. Stop that thing. Got it. Thank you. This helo's getting on my nerves now. If only I had a missile to shoot it down. It's 8 miles out, which means that the 40mm is way too far. Can a Sea Sparrow target that? No, not even close. What range you got? 9 miles. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need a better missile. There. That's the life rafts. From the sinking Newcastle. What? Oh, I'm picking up somebody else's active sonar. Probably the one from the Gloucester.
Floating beyond control. Abandoning ship.
Yeah, merchant's dead. Okay, so how are we going to stop this missile then? Sea darts, I guess. Because you're reloading. You got Sea Wolves. And this thing is coming in... Well, it's not coming in too fast. That's one good thing, I guess. I thought I told you to start dropping buoys here. No, not that many. This helo is absolutely fearless. Which I guess it's... it's not entirely wrong. Because given the way that things are going, I don't have that many missiles left. All we can do now is sit and wait until we get into range. Sheffield, out of missiles. Oslo is reloading. So it's gonna come down to the short-range missiles on Gloucester. Not Bergen. No, Gloucester and York. You're it. Good luck. Throw a chaff cloud up in the air. Preemptively. Not sure if that missile will detect that at 12 miles range, but here's to hoping. 10. It'll take another full minute to reload that. We better be able to throw those sea wolves up fast. So far, I haven't seen them do a whole lot.
Birds away, track 70. Engage track 7036. Buoy away.
What? You're reloading this in 4 minutes? Son, we ain't got... What? But... You can fire again in 6 minutes?
Engaging track.
Oh, thank God. Somebody chaffed it. So you're telling me we essentially have no defenses on Draken? Nothing. We can throw gunfire at it, and that's about all we can do. And chaff clouds to try and distract it. If this thing tries to circle around, it's going to find the Oslo. And Oslo cannot throw up another chaff cloud. Everything you got. Everything. No joy. She's toast. So we've lost 3 ships. Oh, sorry, 4 ships already. What? Good lord. Well, I think this is a good enough of a cliffhanger to leave you on. There is plenty more to do in this mission, and so far I'm running out of ships to do it with. So join me next time and see how this one's going to continue. Thank you for watching. If you are a channel member, you can watch the next part immediately. If you're not, what's keeping you? Just hit the join button. It's $1 a month. You're supporting me. You can immediately watch the next part. Go for it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for part 2.